How to get into drama school is relatively simple. You audition. In a post-COVID apocalypse world, that usually consists of a self-tape audition, some kind of online workshop, and eventually an in-person audition and/or workshop. Something along those lines, depending on where you apply. 2 or 3 speeches need to be learned, and some may ask for a song. With the speeches, one needs to be a contemporary speech, usually from a play from the past 100 years, and the second, usually a Shakespeare speech. I'd highly recommend hiring an acting coach specifically to help you with your applications and auditions. There are plenty to be found online. Make sure you check their credentials, and they are usually reasonably priced as well. They will go through all of the minutiae of which speeches to choose and what song to sing, and all of the other audition requirements needed for each school. All of the specific information about the audition process for each school will, of course, be on the school's website. Now, it's important to note that it may take a few goes to finally get in somewhere. If you get rejected by all of the schools that you apply to, don't worry. Try again the following year. Do not rush this. It probably means that you are not quite what they are looking for at that moment in time. It will have nothing to do with your talent, assuming you have some, but everything to do with your luck and your audition skills, perhaps. Maybe you're just not quite ready. So keep practicing. Believe me, it took me 5 years to finally get into somewhere, and even then I was placed on the waiting list for the one that I eventually went to. I studied at Arts Educational Schools London, where I got my MA in acting. Notable alumni were Academy Award-winning Dame Julie Andrews of Mary Poppins fame and superstar actress, also Academy Award-winning, Catherine Zeta-Jones. So you can imagine, when I eventually got there, I was thinking, holy shit, all of these people in my course who got in before me are going to be amazing. Couldn't be further from the truth. The acting standard in my class was very inconsistent, believe me. So keep trying, keep practicing, and keep applying. You'll eventually get in somewhere. Just make sure the school has an excellent reputation for producing fine actors. Yes, Drill Sergeant! Now, towards the end of your course, let's say you've done 3 years at the Royal Academy of Dramatic Art, for instance. It's your final year, and you're going to want to start to think about work once you've graduated. Now, earlier I mentioned thinking about what you want to achieve in the industry long term. By now, you should have made that decision. Let's say you want to be on the West End. Now is the time to sit down and make a list of all the best agents and casting directors in London who work specifically in the area that you want to specialise in. And you want to go about writing emails and going to Q&As and workshops in the evenings and weekends with these people and start building professional relationships and making connections. They need to know that you exist. And if you're charming enough, you could even call them up very briefly, introduce yourself and tell them that you're in your final year at RADA and you just wanted to let them know and that you would eventually like to invite them to come and see your showcase later in the year.
You schnooks will now be targeting the wealthiest 1% of Americans. Talking about whales here. Moby fucking dicks.
They should be fine with this as long as you time it right, are polite and brief. And then every couple of months, drop them a line as a polite reminder and let them know how you're getting on, but always keep it brief. Maybe they turn up, maybe they won't. But if they do, they'll pay particular attention to the charming and polite person who made the effort and had the courage to reach out. And if you do this with, say, 15 people, guaranteed someone turns up. Also, during this time in your final year, make sure you are learning audition technique and self-tape skills. I'm pretty sure your school will help you with this, but in case they don't, make sure you get on it. These can really make a difference between getting work and not. But final point to stress, just because you graduated from RADA, say, doesn't mean you are the finished article. Quite the opposite. Acting is a lifelong study, and like any job, and it is a job, you need to stay sharp. Keep training and keep practicing. You never know when an opportunity will pop up that you need to be ready for, because if you're not ready, then someone else will be. And that job that you've missed out on because you didn't have an acting coach to keep you sharp could have been the difference between you hitting the big time or not. And it stings, believe me.
What was that? You were drinking all night. Fucking whiskey sours.
Final step, getting work. Time frame, 6 to 12 months. Now, if you've done all of this right, if you've worked really hard on your craft while at school and you've networked effectively, then at the very least, after your brilliant performance in your end of year showcase, an agent should pick you up. Don't worry if you don't get a big fancy agent. There is nothing wrong with smaller boutique agencies, and sometimes they're even better because those agents, they've got more time to work closely with their clients. So, if you've managed to snag an agent, you should be up and running and auditioning. Now, when it comes to auditions, it's all about mindset. You need to understand and accept that you are absolutely going to get rejected many times over.
You stay focused. Tell us how your best karate still inside. Now time let out.
It will have nothing to do with your talent and everything to do with whether or not you fit what they are looking for. So don't take it personally. You cannot control the situation. There are too many cogs whirling in the background. Do the audition and then forget about it. Now, that being said, you might not be able to control the situation, but you can influence their decision. And you do that by being as professional as possible. If you go into your audition with a positive attitude and you give the performance that you want to give based on the audition brief, which is what they are asking for, then at the very least, you will give them something to think about. On top of that, if you continue to do this, the casting director will see that you are polite and professional and thus will be more inclined to bring you in for other opportunities. But remember, someone is giving you the opportunity to act in front of them. That, in and of itself, is a gift. Getting the job is just an added bonus. So be polite, be professional, keep working on your craft, and eventually the cream will rise to the top and you will get your first professional acting job and thus become a professional working actor.
Hey, here he is.
Oh, you rugged Jerry.
So, in conclusion, becoming a professional actor is very simple. It does take time and effort, but everything worthwhile takes time and effort. I estimate to start from scratch, it should take about 5 years or so to do properly. If you are exceptionally gifted and lucky, it'll take you less time. But for the average person, 5 or 6 years is a reasonable amount of time to become a fully qualified professional actor. Anything less than that, and you are doing well. But the steps are, in fact, very simple. Make the decision, start acting, go to drama school, then start auditioning. That's it. Like most things in life, commit, plan, simplify, and put the effort in. That's all you need to do. But it's up to you. Oh, and there is one more thing.
If you're good at something, never do it for free.
The final thing to remember, and it is just as important as everything else, perhaps even more important, and that is enjoy it. It's a phenomenal ride. Trust me. But thank you for watching. If you like this video, please like, share, and subscribe. If there's anything I have missed or if you've got any questions, please put them in the comments. Also, if you have any ideas for future videos, your suggestions are welcome. So please put those in the comments too.